Welcome to this video on learner-centered curriculum design models. In recent years, these models have become a powerful way to create engaging, effective, and personalized learning experiences. Rather than designing courses solely around content or instructor priorities, learner-centered models focus on the individual needs, preferences, and aspirations of students. In this session, we'll explore what learner-centered curriculum design means, examine some of the most influential models, and discuss how to implement them successfully in education and training. Learner-centered curriculum design begins with one essential principle. Learning should start with the learner. This approach involves setting learning objectives that reflect the goals and motivations of the students themselves. It means recognizing that people absorb information in different ways, and that effective learning experiences must be flexible, relevant, and meaningful. By tailoring both content and teaching methods to the learner's individual style, educators can make lessons more engaging and ensure that students retain what they learn for longer. An important feature of this approach is its focus on active participation. Learner-centered models encourage learners to get involved, to question, explore, and apply ideas in practice. Rather than passively receiving information, learners are expected to work collaboratively, share ideas, and solve problems. This develops valuable employability skills such as teamwork, communication, and critical thinking. Ultimately, learner-centered design aims to create a dynamic, interactive environment that supports each learner's holistic development. Let's look at some of the most popular learner-centered curriculum design models. The first is problem-based learning, or PBL. This model places learners in realistic situations where they must solve complex, open-ended problems. These are often the kind of challenges they might face in the workplace. In PBL, the educator becomes more of a facilitator than a lecturer, guiding learners as they analyze problems, draw on prior knowledge, and generate potential solutions. Collaboration is at the heart of this model, as learners typically work in groups to investigate issues, reflect on their progress, and assess their performance. Through this process, they strengthen their problem-solving abilities and become more confident, independent thinkers. The second model is Enquiry-Based Learning, or EBL. This approach begins with curiosity, encouraging learners to ask questions, explore ideas, and carry out investigations to find answers. Learners might begin with a challenging question or scenario, then research, test, and refine their hypotheses. The educator supports this process through scaffolding, offering guidance, tools, and feedback to help learners move forward without taking control of their inquiry. Reflection plays a crucial role here, helping learners to evaluate what they have discovered and how they approached it. EBL nurtures inquisitive, self-directed learners who are comfortable with uncertainty and skilled in critical thinking. Another influential model is Constructivist Learning. This approach is built on the idea that learners actively construct knowledge rather than simply absorb it. They make sense of new information by connecting it to their previous experiences and perspectives. The educator's role is to create activities that encourage exploration, discussion, and experimentation. Learners are asked to reflect on what they have learned and to adjust their understanding as they go. Importantly, this model values different viewpoints, recognizing that no two learners will interpret information in exactly the same way. This diversity enriches classroom dialogue and helps learners develop deeper, more personal insights. The fourth model we'll explore is collaborative learning. Here, the focus is on teamwork and shared responsibility. Learners work together to complete tasks, solve problems, or develop projects. Each group member contributes ideas, listens actively, and provides constructive feedback. This sense of interdependence builds trust and accountability within the group. Reflection is again a key component, as learners are encouraged to evaluate their group's performance, communication, and strategies. Collaborative learning not only enhances understanding of the subject matter, but also develops essential interpersonal skills for the workplace. While each of these models has its own structure and strengths, they all share common principles that define learner-centered curriculum design. These include setting clear, relevant objectives that align with learners' goals, using teaching strategies that promote active engagement, and creating opportunities for reflection and feedback. Practical, hands-on learning activities make lessons more meaningful, while collaboration and communication prepare learners for professional and social success. It's also possible to adapt traditional curriculum design models to make them more learner-centered. This can involve inviting learners to contribute to course planning or to help evaluate the effectiveness of the program. Offering choices in learning paths, materials, or assessments allows learners to take greater ownership of their education. Engagement can be enhanced through interactive activities, while active learning can be promoted by including real-world projects and opportunities to apply knowledge. These adjustments transform conventional, instructor-led programs into dynamic, learner-driven experiences. Implementing learner-centered design offers many benefits, such as higher motivation, improved retention, and a stronger connection between theory and practice. However, it also brings challenges. It requires time, resources, and collaboration among educators, subject specialists, and learners. Balancing institutional expectations with individual learning needs can also be demanding. Despite these challenges, the outcomes, engaged learners who are motivated to think, explore, and grow, make it worth the effort. To implement learner-centered design successfully, collaboration is essential. Educators should work closely with learners and stakeholders to understand what support is needed and how learning can be made most effective. Regular evaluation and refinement based on feedback help keep the curriculum relevant and responsive. Educational technologies can also play a key role, providing adaptive platforms, multimedia resources, and virtual spaces for collaboration and exploration. In conclusion, learner-centered curriculum design models represent a shift in educational thinking, from teaching to learning, from instruction to interaction. By embracing models such as problem-based, inquiry-based, constructivist, and collaborative learning, educators can create environments where learners are active participants in their own development. These approaches encourage curiosity, creativity, and confidence, skills that extend far beyond the classroom. When implemented thoughtfully, learner-centered curriculum design transforms education into a journey of discovery, equipping learners with the mindset and abilities to thrive in an ever-changing world.